It's made it hard for you in the second half.
Oh no, we set out to sit off them. That's all we wanted. We said we've got them here. We knew we had the pace and the artillery to catch them on the counter attack. And I said to the boys at half time, why are we the ones that always has to have 80% possession? Let them have it. They're not going to hurt us. All right, they had a couple of chances, but nothing that really affected us. And if that's all they've got, we could have had about 8 or 9. Let's be honest, there was a lot of chances, clear chances we missed as well. So pleasing thing, they're listening. I'm asking them to work harder for each other. I'm asking them to bring each other into the game, and you can see it was evident today. Even to the point where they've taken me slightly literally. I think Heggers could have been a bit more selfish on occasion, Gustavo as well. But I know the goals will come for them if they keep doing that. If they keep working hard and looking to feed each other, the goals will come.
Lost the first half, and I thought you kept your shape really well.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they obviously changed it. They had 5 at the back and a square 4 in midfield that we obviously had to try and get the information onto the players to adapt to it. Once the players were aware of it, I thought we were very comfortable. And like I said, every time we went forward for that 20-minute period, it looked like we were going to score. And it was disappointing. I say it's disappointing. It's disappointing because they probably had to work harder than they should have, because the game should have been dead and buried. And it means we're stressing a bit more on the bench. But at least you're creating them. When you're not creating them, that's when you start getting worried.
Dominated, obviously missed a few chances, but then obviously they nearly nicked one in the last minute of the first half. Yep,
I could see it coming. I said to the boys before the game, he'll always look to play shoulders. He'll always look for that one when one of his gets sucked out. So we addressed it at half time, and he didn't get a sniff. So yeah, that could have been a killer blow, especially after how good we'd been and how dominant we'd been in that first half. But goals change games. The fact they didn't get it, it meant that we went in 2-0 and we were good to go again in the second half.
Thank you.
Chris.
Thanks, Pete. That was Peter Simcox from Football West. I'm now here with Chris myself. Chris, you're now back to the 8 points clear again. Looking good.
Yeah, I'm pleased. Alright, yes, I know we were sloppy for 20 minutes in the second half towards the end there, but they followed my instructions, sit off them and counter-attack them, and that's what we did. And we could have potentially had 3 or 4 in that second half. So yes, they had more possession, but it was the game plan. It was what we wanted. It was how we wanted it to be dictated. And I'm very pleased. I think the first half, that 30-minute spell in the first half was electric. And if we'd got 5 or 6, then it would have really not been a misjustice to Perth. So really pleased. Everything we're working on is now starting to come to fruition, and as a coach, obviously that's what you want to see moving forward.
In all honesty, they never really were in it, were they? Because they had the chance in the last minute of the first half, but other than that, it really was total domination as such.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they'd scored that, it might have changed the dynamic a bit. We couldn't have afforded the luxury of sitting off them and playing that counter-attacking football and just letting them have it. But obviously the fact that it didn't pan out like that, I thought we were comfortable. I mean, the boys still put a shift in, don't get me wrong, but I think they were very good at just controlling things, nipping things in the bud. And it's pleasing for me that I know we can go all guns blazing and just throw everything at them, but we can also have the discipline to sit off, defend and protect. So it's pleasing. It shows that we are taking it in as a group and we are working well as a unit.
And really, even despite that, you had the better chances of the second half as well, and could have added to the 2-0 scoreline.
Oh, easily. I mean, I think they probably potentially could have had one, obviously with that one in the first half, and a couple of half chances that Devon's taken very easily. But when we've gone through, they were clear cut chances for me. If just the final touch, final ball, final decision had been better. But it is what it is. I'd accept 2-0. I would have taken it before the game, and it's a clean sheet. Moving forward now to next week.
Yeah, and you must have been really happy with the 2 goals that did go in. Really clinical finishes, and Toddy Howarth must be the best free taker in the State League at the moment.
Yeah, wow. So I mean, we had a cracking view from we were right behind the ball, and as soon as it left his foot, there was no doubt it was going in. It was an absolute belter. And I mean, Gustavo's pace and his I can't think of the word, he's finished, but like the poise he showed, to finish, he's taken it around him instead of just passing it in, he's just lashed it into the back of the net, and he was electric when he went forward. And David Hegney, Borbor and Danny, they were very good as well. So didn't drag him for any other reason than to give him a rest, because they do work their socks off and everything they do is electric. So it was more to give him a rest than anything.
And is there basically, I just was talking up there during the game, and we basically stated that if Toddy Howard doesn't win the gold medal this year, something is seriously wrong with the whole system.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't get the opportunity to vote for it, it's the referees, but in every game I've seen, obviously I'm not fortunate enough to see every club week in, week out, but having seen the way that Toddy's performed, I'd be very, very surprised if he wasn't, head and shoulders clear, just purely and simply because of the consistency as well as the performances. But you never know. It's stranger things can happen, but we recognise it. We know how good he's been for us, and he's not the only one. There's been a good few that have been, so potentially could take votes off Toddy. So it is what it is, and it's a funny way of doing it. I think your peers should vote for the Player of the Year. That's just my opinion, but that's not to disrespect the referees. It just means that in one team that players can just keep nicking points off each other, which will happen at this club.
Yep. And just speaking of the referees, very, very, I thought, solid performance from the referee today.
Yeah, I thought they were good. Obviously, there's a couple of things we always whinge on the sidelines and question them, but they were good today, and Adam controlled what could have been a temperamental game, and nipped everything in the butt. So no complaints for me. I think the last few weeks we've been not too bad. So it's good that we are moving forward, and they had a good game, to be fair to them.
And now looking forward, you've got 2 home games in a row. We've got Coyne and we've got Balcada. It will be just a case of managing the squad, I presume.
Yeah, obviously Sammy Mitch only got back from a family holiday from Spain yesterday afternoon, so it was important that we got him rested, and then obviously we're losing Chris Saldaris for a couple of weeks, so we'll just rest him up. It's that time of the year. It's that time of the year in our planning that we're going to sort of let him ease off in training, but it doesn't mean we won't have the quality. It just means the quantity and the workloads that we're putting through them would be less. The emphasis will be on the more technical aspects of the game.
Okay, well, Chris, again, tremendous performance. First against third, you've come out on top easily, I would presume, and you will be having a very good night tonight, I would say.
I certainly will be having a few reds, mate. I will enjoy myself.
And your missus will be happy with the Eagles.
Yes, she will be. Yeah, for a change.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Top man.
Thanks, Chris.